let's fold this into the equation. So, Duke, come on, why don't you join us and give us your perspective on this?
Well, when I read this, like my brain was kind of just like baffled because so just like long story short, the band Shinobi Ninja, then we had a song in NBA 2K12, the number one selling video game of that year. It sold 5 million copies. So every time somebody played that game, our song played. Now, if you're twitching the game and the song plays, how does that affect your stream if it's in the game itself? It's almost like there's a fourth wall. And then the other side is like social medias are just becoming too powerful. I think now with Twitter, like putting labels on what the president says, or this is false, or this is real. It's the same thing with Twitch. It's like you can't play a song, even though you bought the song, you can't play the song. I think the next step would be kind of controlling what you wear. You can't wear certain things in our videos because if we're Nike, we don't want you streaming racist things or anything like that. I think it's just like the walls are just closing in slowly but surely on the creators of content, if you want to call it content, but it's really our lives that we're living, and it's the big brother eye. And it's just now it's what you say, it's what you listen to, it's what you look like. It's just a lot of walls. So I just felt, I was just like, man, it's just closing in on all sides. And what do you have to do? You have to make another social media platform that then says we're not like the other ones until they get big enough, and then they get bought up and they become just like the other ones. So
I think
it was questionable.
I think a certain amount of that is good and a certain amount of that's bad, right? Like we don't want platforms to allow the proliferation of harmful, damaging, abusive, or fraudulent content, right? We also don't want Twitch necessarily to become a haven for people to freely distribute music that people then tune into that like it's the radio, but there's no monetization model, even like the radio has, to support the creators who made that content. On the other token of that, we see a big part of at least the argument for the press's sake here is that creators are streaming a lot more and using Twitch a lot more, but there's not a monetization model for them as robustly as there is elsewhere. And so we need Twitch to kind of support creators in the licensing and monetization of the content that they're bringing to the table. And the way we do that is by limiting how much of it is used and abused on other channels and other streams where it's not paid for, it's not licensed, it's not covered. What do you think about that sort of like towing the line?
I think it's cool to monetize things, right? I'm a creator. I want to get paid. I think it's cool to monetize things. I think when you're dealing with the strike aspect, that's when it gets scary because now you're dealing with like online jail for the creator. So I'm going like, man, I can't play my homies' tracks, even if they're on a small label, if it's distributed by whatever and it's on Spotify, I can't play my homies' tracks. And so what kind of person am I if I can't do the things that I want to do? I'm really like restricted. I used to be free to be a Twitcher, and now I can't do the things I wanted to do because I'm afraid to get my channel taken down. And what happens if they do take your channel down? What are you going to do then? It's like you still got to wake up. You still got to create, but now you can't do the things that you love to do. So it's really like it's shackles. It's the shackles of social media.
I think that's an interesting point. There's sort of the missing piece here, which is the true for many platforms, and YouTube is better about this, but not great. But in other platforms, it's very rudimentary, where if it's an automatic detection system, it's just going to flag the content as a first step and then potentially take it down as a matter of policy, even before you have the opportunity to prove that you have permission to use it. So whether it's your homie's record and they say, yes, please put this on your channel, I want it promoted, I appreciate you. You don't have the ability to make that argument before the damage is already done. I think that's where the abuse of hand, that's where the social media jail comes in for sure.